Hi, I am Nimkee Gupta. I live in Luxembourg. I'm an Indian. Right now, I'm in India in a city called Bhopal. It's in the center of the country. I am an ovarian cancer patient, high grade serous ovarian cancer, stage 3C. And I was diagnosed last year, October 2023, after which I did my treatment in India. I got operated in Mumbai, and I've had 6 cycles of chemo, 3 before the surgery, 3 after the surgery. During my journey, I realized that because my parents are doctors, I had some things different from people who don't have doctors in their family. Now, by that, I mean, first of all, and most important, the awareness and acceptance that cancer is just a disease which is curable. When we talk about the challenges with respect to ovarian cancer, let me start by the general challenges, because these are non-specific. It's there in India, it's there in Luxembourg, it's in US, it's in UK, it's everywhere. First and foremost, the diagnosis of ovarian cancer is extremely non-specific. It's actually called the silent killer, because what are the symptoms? Fatigue, bloating, weight loss, mood swings. I mean, at least these four are things that women go through their entire life. When you hit puberty, you have mood swings. Every month, when there's a menstrual cycle, you have mood swings, you have fatigue, there is bloating. So it is very, it's practically impossible to understand when it is just menstrual cramps and when is it cancer, right? So that's the biggest challenge. Now, uh, the problem is, this is not even the problem. The problem is that women go to general physicians and gynecologists their entire lives. Even before a girl hits puberty, she's definitely made a visit to the gynac or a general physician. General physicians and gynacs around the world do not make their patients aware of the possibility of cancer. Now, maybe the intention is that they don't want to scare them. But we do tell people about breast cancer. We tell them when to get a mammography done. We tell people about pap smears. Then why not ovarian cancer? I mean, this is a question in my head, and I don't have an answer for this. Why don't general physicians and gynacs just do this? That's the biggest issue everywhere in the world. Now, even though the Indian medical system is extremely robust, generally, I mean, you would have probably heard of this during COVID. India was supplying medicine to the entire world, right? The Indian medical system generally is tuned to address people from different stratas of the society: educated, uneducated, poor, middle class, very rich. People come from outside to India to get treated. So that's the level of medical facilities we have. But for cancer, it's not that great. In every 100,000 people in India, 100 people had cancer. This is the growth of cancer. And I think the most prominent researches that were published in India were published somewhere in the 19th century. So we have history, we have the present, nothing in the middle. But even though there's this steep increase in incidence and everything, cancer is not on the government's radar. In India, diabetes is on the government's radar. Avoiding female infanticide is on government's radar, but not cancer. I don't understand why, but it's not. Now, the problem with this is that, one, there are not enough research facilities. Let me give you another number. India is 1.4 billion people, right? For this, we have only 62 government-sponsored centers across the country, cancer centers, only 62. This is a gross mismatch. Now, the stigma and the taboo around cancer in India comes from multiple things. One, like I said, it's a fairly new phenomenon in India. And in India, if you don't know about something, the best approach is to keep quiet about it, which means doctors don't talk about it, patients don't want to talk about it, and the family members don't understand it, right? In India, we have a very strong family system. It's I don't know how many of you know, but probably you've heard that even today I know of my friends where four generations of a family, they live together in the same house. It's that strong. Flip side, there is no palliative care, or let's say the palliative care for cancer is negligible, because parents live with their children, children care for their parents, parents care for their children. I mean, in my case, I it was a matter of chance that I was in India when I got diagnosed, but I just didn't go back. I'm living with my parents here, right? But my parents are doctors, so it's a different deal. There are a lot of cases where the family doesn't understand what the patient is going through. People outside the family don't understand what the family is going through. And when things get really bad, they don't know where to go, because there are no hospices or palliative care centers in India. It's coming up now. I wouldn't say that it's not happening. It's coming up now, but the level of awareness is really, really low. So, these are some of the issues that I saw. One another problem, which I think is global, but in India, I've seen in a really bad state, is the cost of cancer treatment, right? Let me give you another number. For 60% of the cancer patients in India, 30% of the cost of cancer treatment comes from selling assets, from borrowing from friends, family, and things like that. This Tata Medical Center that I talked about, when I went there, I think there are about 12 floors in one building. Every floor had a sea of people. And by the looks of it, it didn't feel like that all of them had the means to support cancer treatment. Simple things, simple things. There was a time during my cancer journey that I found a parlor, a beauty parlor here that was ready to sanitize things and keep things clean for me to get a haircut, because you have very low immunity during your cancer journey, right? Simple things like that. We can have cafes organizing meetups only for cancer patients, but just because there's not much awareness, people don't do that in India. So in India, this is one thing to have, would be really, really great. Organization wise, now India is this big IT hub. It's been like that for like 20 years now, right? And I have personally worked in at least 4 or 5 IT companies in India. I have noticed that they have blood donation camps, they have health checkup camps very regularly. Ovarian cancer or breast cancer or any kind of cancer screening can be a part of these drives, right? Awareness drives can be conducted in these corporate companies, so that because they have a lot of people working with them in different cities, in different offices, in small tier 2 cities, tier 1 cities. Just by targeting these groups of people, awareness would just become multifold. I think the only thing remaining is to encourage cancer patients to not be too scared. Being a little scared is absolutely fine. Obviously, it's the fear of death and the fear of unknown. But if you're too scared, then you won't move forward. And if you don't move forward, there is absolutely no way this can be fought. So if you feel scared, talk to other people who have gone through the same thing, talk to your doctors, talk to your family, whoever you like. If you don't want to talk to anyone, don't talk. Get a therapist. I have a therapist. Helps a ton. Therapy is amazing. Pamper yourself, but it is absolutely essential to move beyond that fear.